And welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. We're watching another Old Farts, or we are Old Farts watching another anime. And this one was also recommended to me by one of my subscribers, Arturo T. He said he really liked this one as a kid. It's called Saint Seiya, I think that's how you pronounce it. It looks a little bit Gatchaman-esque, so kind of intrigued to see what this one is all about, so let's try it.
Can't you see that Seiya will win the armor if it goes on like this?
I'll never let that happen. The sacred armor of Pegasus belongs in Greece. And some little punk from Japan doesn't deserve to wear it.
Wait a minute. I don't get the geography. He's from Japan?
You still don't get it, do you? Ah, so that's it. The armor of Pegasus.
How's he gonna put that on? Oh, I guess that's how he's gonna put it on. That was Saint Seiya, recommended by Arturo T. Thank you very much. Always look forward to people sending me ideas for stuff for us to check out. That's really cool. But did I like this one? So-so. I liked it was going for kind of a Gatchaman kind of a thing, sort of. I mean, the group all in their weird outfits doing, I guess, stopping bad guys and that. But from only watching the first episode, all I can say is I was confused, really confused. So the beginning of this episode, and it's worth noting in researching it, this was yet another case of an anime that got adjusted when they dubbed it into the English version. There were things changed around, and maybe that's why it's very confusing. So we start off in this like arena where somebody's having a wrestling match, a guy with like a unicorn outfit and a guy with a Japanese lion outfit fighting each other, and then we're like, well, where is Saint Seiya? And we cut to where he is, which is in, I don't know where we were for the majority of the episode. It's like we were in ancient Greece because Cassius, the big guy, who was beating up Seiya, kept saying how this suit of armor needs to stay in Greece. And it looks like Greece. It's got ancient Roman columns and Greek columns and Parthenon-looking buildings. And even when later on, after the fighting is going on, which, by the way, was really, really bloody. I was really surprised at how gory and kind of mature-rated the fight was in this anime. But anyway, later on, when Seiya's hanging out with the red-headed lady Marin, they're just hanging out in stone houses with like old, baskets, and their outfits look very kind of medieval or ancient in origin. So I'm just like, that's why I made the comment, like, if he's from Japan, how did he get to Greece in the time period that this looks like this takes place? That was confusing. Also, the whole bit later with Marin where he's like, she's explaining the cosmos and it's all very spacey and the universe and the atoms and all that kind of stuff. I was just like, okay, why are we doing this? Now that gets explained later, and I have other thoughts about it, but I want to check with D. You nodded when I said I was confused. Were you as confused as I was?
Well, yes, and in certain parts and no in others.
Okay.
It was Greece, from what I could tell. But yeah, like the first arena that they were in, I didn't realize that was Japan. And the whole thing about, the power of Pegasus and all that sort of stuff. Like, I thought Pegasus was going to show up and he was going to ride Pegasus, not that he was Pegasus. You see where my confusion's going?
Yeah.
So, yeah, not a fan of this one.
Yeah, I wondered about, like, and then the bit where the Pegasus armor appears and he's like, oh good, it's the Pegasus armor, but it's horse shaped. I thought, All right. Now, what I will say that made it better was that toward the later part where he's fighting Sheena, the green-haired Cobra commanding lady, then Mirren's explanation about how your atoms are being channeled through you and you can crush a rock by controlling the atoms, that stuff then kind of became relevant during the fight against Sheena. So I'm like, okay, we kind of went around the bases there to get to that, but that's okay. And then it kind of just ended very suddenly without any real connection to this wrestling match we saw at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, no, and I had a problem with that as well. It's like, because honestly, what does it all have to do with anything?
Yeah, it definitely it occurs to me that this is one of those series that we got to watch several of them to get all the different team members, I guess all the different powers, this being the first one about Seiya himself and how these saints will return in times of conflict. Like the modern era, I'm assuming, because the beginning of the episode, it's all the wrestling match and TVs and like billboards on poles and stuff. So it's like, okay, it's the modern era. These saints are coming to fight bad things happening in the modern time. So why the sudden switch back to ancient Greece or Japan or Rome or wherever the heck we were? And why was that not more clearly defined? I don't know. It was okay. Characters are kind of interesting and definitely very gory. And some of the bits, not even just gore, but like there were bits where we were seeing Cassius beating up Seiya as a kid. And they were like a bit distressing for a kid-aimed bit of anime. Again, in Japan, probably a lot more mature in nature, but like, I'm just thinking to myself, if they're showing this on some kind of anime channel that they haven't kind of warned people who are watching it, these are not cartoons for kids, little kids watching that might be a bit put out by it, I would think. Anyway. But again, big thanks to Arturo T. Always like the recommendations, so this was kind of an interesting one. I'm done. Are you done, Dee?
Yeah, I think I am.
Okay, well, then until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.
See you next time.